Hi there, welcome to episode 28 of a Brit Does Baseball Does podcast. I'm Gaz, I'm joined by Cal. Most of the time I'm joined by Cal. Cal, how are you doing?
Melted. They've put me into two glasses because I couldn't put my eyes and my teeth into the same one. I'm 2 pints of cow at the minute.
Yeah, for those of you that were here for the Rounders Roundup, it's been very hot this week. We're talking 35 degrees. What that is in Fahrenheit, it doesn't fucking matter. All you need to know is it's been well hot. We're finally recording this on the Sunday night when it's below 25 for the first time in literally a week and a half. So we're in a slightly better mood than we were the other day. Um, I would say I'd be in a slightly better mood, but we touched on it in the Rounders Roundup. It's All-Star game season, which is normally good because you get 3 or 4 days off of caring about your team, and you get to watch the best players in baseball go at it. Um, but there's fury. The name of the episode title will include the word fury in it because the All-Star voting has become a little bit of a farce. We're going to mainly be focusing on the National League because we're both fans of National League clubs. But today we're going to be going in about All-Star voting and the system and how it works and how we think we can improve it. And then we're going to give our Brit Does Baseball National League All-Star team on the positional side. We can't be bothered with pitchers. Also, I think we all know who we're going to choose. We said a line just before we came on air that it's not about the size of the dog in the fight. It's about the speed of the fastball that comes out of Jacob Mizraski's hand as he this weekend threw 105.5 miles per hour to Pete Crow Armstrong. Um, not really gonna go into much detail. Should we start with some hot takes? I think it's been a while since we've done that.
Let's get spicy with it. If you're unaware of how the hot take system works, we use the Nando's Spice Scale. If you're unaware of the Nando's Spice Scale, at this point, just Google it. Um, Hot is hot, mild is not hot. Bakayo Saka if it's a bit weird. Let's go.
Our first hot take, and probably the crux of this episode, is that all-star fan voting should be a thing of the past. It shouldn't be a thing anymore. Where have you got that on the spice scale?
I'm I'm going Bakayo Saka because there's parts of it I agree with. Parts of it I think it needs tweaking. Um, I don't think that the whole thing should be fan voted. Because it takes away the merit of players performing exceedingly well. I think that kind of statistically, and you can have some storyline involved in it, I guess. But the players that are playing best should be in the All-Star game, which usually happens, to be fair. But there should be one player left that is the fans are given a short list of 5 players on each in each league, and the fans can vote for one of 5 players to be the fan representation in the All-Star game. Um, I think that it's gotten silly, I think, with just having it as a popularity contest, because then it isn't the All-Star game. It's just who has the most fucking followers. And it's not entirely fair to people that probably deserve it a little bit more, but their name isn't Ronald Acuna Jr., so they're not playing right field, you know? Um, yeah, I'm going Bukayo Saka. It's mostly there, but it's a bit I agree with parts of it.
Yeah, I think I'm going to join you. I don't know if to go. Well, it's not Perry Tamer because Perry Tamer is outrageous, and it's not an outrageous take. So I think I'm joining you with Bukayo Saka, where
Mm.
I would go a little step further. My I'll touch on it a little bit later, but I've got a different preferred solution. I think you should have fan voting involved in the All Star game because so much of baseball, like accolades and achievements, aren't due to fan voting. It's like coming from a rugby background. Like you do your end of season awards, and you've got the coaches player, you get the most improved, and you get the players player. And for me, the players player one is the most important one, right? Because it's people around you and noticing what you do. And for me, it's like if you had like a fans player, like when I was a kid growing up, you used to have parents player, which is the equivalent of like the fans player of the season. And for me,
Right.
that though fans player and players player are the more fun ones to get
Mm.
because people are seeing what you're producing on the field and people are recognizing you for it. And this is essentially baseball's version of that. I do think it has got ridiculous. You've said about Acuna Jr. I'll give you one better. Alejandro Kirk has made it into the finals on the American League catchers side. At the time of voting was finishing, he'd played 15 games. Teoscar Hernandez had made it to the final of the National League outfielders. He's been on the injured list for the last 5 weeks. It's just,
and it's not to take any credit away from. We're not saying that they're not good enough players. It's just over the course of this season that we're talking about. Come on, there have been people better than Teoscar Hernandez consistently over the season. When he's been there, he's been great. Fine, sure, whatever. Alejandro Kirk is a fantastic catcher, but he's just not. He's not fucking played.
It's like last year, Ronald Acuna Jr. started in the All-Star game and he'd played about 20 games. And we came on this podcast and we went, why the fuck have we done that? And this year it's the same. We're going, Ronald Acuna Jr. has made it to the finalists. I don't think he's going to start this year because he also is currently out injured, so he can't start anyway. But it's like, what are we doing? Like, as a fan base collective, and there's a load of Blue Jays. It's basically Canada versus the Dodgers and the Braves. It's the current National League versus American League setup. And it's like, what are we doing? Like, I love Ernie Clement. I think he's a great player. I do think he is an all-star because I don't think there are any good second basemen in the American League. But the fact that he's got the most votes is just laughable. It's actually quite funny. Yordan Alvarez has had a great year for the Astros. He, for me, was that single vote getter. Starts the All-Star game. Should we do one more hot take before we get into the crux of it?
Yeah, why not? Before we go full All-Star mode.
Boo's got a good one. She's just literally late breaking news. She just slipped one to me under the desk. I'm just going to read it out here. Oh God, I can't read her handwriting. Turns out she can't speak English. She's typing it instead on my phone. Okay, wonderful. The next hot take is that it's All-Star game related. And she's basically said she would like the home run derby to have more than 8 competitors. She would like one from each team as like a battle royale style.
Oh my God, that would take 16 hours.
Yeah, obviously you have to. It's with a caveat of like the first round they only get 10 balls each or something, and the top 8 make it through, or the top 10 make it through. Like she's not coming in with a detailed plan as to how the home run derby with 30 people would look, but she said I would like one representative, and that representative has to be leading the team in home runs for that team.
Okay. I'm gonna say that's hot because that's so many people. I like it. I think it's cool. Maybe have it on. Okay, right. Let's solve this. Maybe you have it on 2 separate things. So you have your American League Home Run Derby, your National League Home Run Derby, and then the final takes place in the 7th inning stretch of the All-Star game. And that's the way that you do it, all in one day, but then the finals on another day when they aren't completely gassed out. And yeah, like you said, it's like 10 pitches each.
I don't hate it.
I think that could be fun. I think it would take so long. But I think having it as a American League versus National League kind of thing could be fun as well.
Yeah. So I've got this as I've actually got this as medium. I think this is some of Boo's great thinking. Initial thought. She just wants to do it, and she doesn't think about any logistical bits. In a perfect world, I think the home run derby should be. I agree with it. It should be the home run leaders. They always chuck like random people in, like Jazz Chisholm last year. I know he had a few home runs, but finished in the home run derby with 2 or 3, however many it was like an absolute farce. You should be rolling out Schwarber, Atani, Aaron Judge, Mike Trout. Just wheel them all out there. They can swing it for 10 balls each. That's fine.
Fernando Tatis Jr.
To be fair, for the Padres, probably would be him.
I don't know. They've surely got someone that's hit more than 2 home runs this year.
He's up to. I think I definitely know he's up to 3. I'm just gonna look at the Padres stat leaders just to confirm this.
I did see. I sent it to you on Instagram, but if anybody listening hasn't seen this video where Tatis strikes out on a pitch that is 65 miles an hour, and also Dalton Rushing gets hit in the balls in that same pitch. It's the most pleasing 3 seconds of my life, I think. It's just really fantastic concept.
And the pitch comes from a Miguel Rojas, a position player from the Dodgers throwing it.
Oh
Those were Boo's 2 hot takes. Thank you, Boo, for your service. We will catch you at this rate probably next month because you seem to be working part-time again. I don't know why. I can't control her. All-Star voting, All-Star game. So you don't know, I'll give you a quick rundown on how the All-Star voting works. I think most people would be quite familiar with it. All-Star voting opens normally like a week into June. Every it's only on the positional side. It's not pitchers, and every person can vote something like 10 times a day for across all players. All-Star game, you have a National League and an American League team, and there are 2 phases of voting. Phase 1, all players are in play, okay, and you vote for who you think deserves to be an All-Star. And the MLB will categorize them by position. So Shohei Ohtani will be a DH, Bryce Harper will be a first baseman. The only caveat is outfielders are just treated as one. So there's no left field, right field, center field. It's all just outfield. The top 2 vote getters in each position, so DH all the way through to outfield. Outfield will have 6 because there are 3 outfield positions. The top 2 from each category go through to phase 2. In phase 2, it's a straight shootout. You have your 2 players. I think the vote resets, and whoever gets the most votes becomes the starter for the All-Star game. The bench players are then chosen by MLB. I think it's writers. I don't know if it's the MLB themselves. Don't know. Don't really care. The top vote getter from phase 1 will instantly go into the All-Star game. So this year, on the National League side, it was Shohei Ohtani, to the surprise of absolutely no one. He is going to be the DH again for the National League. He might even pitch as well. But on the American League side, a bit of a weird one this year. Ernie Clement from the Toronto Blue Jays is going to be the second baseman, getting his first ever All-Star nod because he got the most votes. So that's the current system. We're currently into phase 2 voting. I think it opened a couple of days ago. They'll be announced sometime next week. We're recording this on the 28th of June. I think it's announced next Saturday. I don't know. Again, I don't really care on dates. That's the current system. For me, it doesn't work because we have as Cal said, it's a popularity contest. So on the American League side, we have instances where Dylan Dingler from the Detroit Tigers, who's been great all year, I was looking at some WAR stats earlier. He's like 2nd or 3rd place in WAR in the American League. WAR, what is it good for? Absolutely nothing, says the song. Ranking baseball players some people agree, some people disagree. Let us know in the comments on our latest post. But Alejandro Kirk, who's the Blue Jays catcher, made it into the final after playing 15 games due to injury. What that tells me is that Canada, it seems like all of Canada are voting in the Blue Jays players, which is absolutely hilarious. Like we've got players like Jesus Sanchez and Dalton Varsho in the outfielder finalists. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. somehow leads first base votes and he's homered 5 times so far this year. We've said about the Ernie Clement thing. It's just banter. On the National League side, it's a bit more split. It's either Los Angeles Dodgers players or National League East players tend to be the ones getting into the final positions. Me and Cal kind of both have similar opinions on this, that you need to have some element of fan voting, but it's getting a bit too crazy. Cal, if you could revamp the voting system, how would you do it?
Like I said before, I think that people are given too much power. I think that it should be a little bit more statistical. So maybe there is an element of fan voting, but we go in straight at phase 2. So MLB gives you the top 3 first basemen across all. So it's not just like home runs, but so the defensive players get a shout as well. Just, statistically, who has the best stats, who's having the best year across all metrics, and then you get given those three, and then you can pick from those three, because then that'll take away your, you know, Vladimir Guerrero Juniors for this year anyway. Usually it's pretty good. It's just not kicking on early this year, and that's fine. And then and then people can vote from there, because I think it is fun to have an element of like, I voted him in and now he's there and now I feel good and involved in things. But it is a bit silly. It is a bit silly. I also think that Shohei Ohtani should not be DHing for the simple fact that he will be pitching. So just like sub him in later in the game,
Yeah.
Like, why
well,
take away the spot from somebody when you could just do both? You're going to do both anyway.
Yeah, I guess MLB just want to see him do both on the All Star stage. I'm in agreement with you. I think MLB provide, or whoever does it, MLB provides fans of a shortlist, and you go right. The best first baseman in the National League, just putting names out there: Bryce Eldridge, Michael Bush, and I know Jake Bowers from the Brewers. 3 random names, and they go, these are the 3 statistical best. You vote in the starter. One thing I would then add to that would be you then get a wild card vote. So players that aren't in the top 3 for each position, you can vote for whoever you want, and the top player from that gets into the team somewhere. I don't know how you work it.
Bench. They're on the bench.
Yeah, they get to go on the bench, but they get to be named to the All-Star roster. Whether or not you start or you're on the roster, it's still the same. You don't. When you look at some of the stat lines, they go, Silver Slugger, X amount of times, 5 Gold Gloves, All-Star appearances. They don't go whether or not you started or finished the game. So I would chuck a wild card in. That's when the Ernie Clements of the world come in, and I think it's a good story personally.
Yeah, for sure. But again, like we said, Ernie Clement probably has been the best second baseman.
Yeah.
In the American League. It's just, has he actually?
I think statistically, yes. I think he has. I think the form I put up earlier, I looked at Fangraphs WAR. I think Jazz Chisholm does have more WAR than Ernie Clement, but you look at all like the underlying stats, higher average, less errors, all of that fun stuff, and also doesn't suck on lollipops when he's playing baseball because he's not a child.
That's true. Although not the worst not pre-match, just dugout thing. Unless I don't know. Nick Castellanos drinking beers mid-game is hilarious.
Yeah, he should be in for that.
But what's better for you? Like, as a coach, would you rather your player had like a stick in his mouth going up to bat, or like had half a Coors in between innings?
Depends what level we're talking. Are we talking MLB level, or are we talking the level that we play at?
No, the MLB.
Oh, MLB. Probably a beer, because I think you just got more chance of injury. Imagine if a ball hits you whilst you've got that stick in your mouth. Choking hazard.
Or you're surprised by something. Anything could happen. Whereas fucking dudes used to pitch on acid.
Yeah.
And they were, probably not fine, but like they were okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't stand by that view, but yeah, I wouldn't mind if my right fielder, it wasn't at the start. It wasn't at the start of the game either. It was 7 innings in.
Yeah, it feels like he's bored to me. Whereas if you're having a few sips of a cold one, that just feels like you're locking the fuck in,
Yeah, but like you've done the first 6 innings sober. It might be a blowout either way. You should be able to relax. Like,
it's a long season. It's hot. There hasn't been nearly enough tragedies for my home runs to go up. So I'm gonna have a fucking Budweiser, man. I don't know what to tell you.
I reckon Nick Castellanos should get a brand deal with any beer company. I think he needs it.
Beers.
Yeah. You want a beer at the ballpark? Have I got the man for you? Is he on a team anywhere? Did he get picked up?
I don't think so. I know he got cut, but my opinion does change drastically if they're IPAs, though. I think if he's sipping IPAs on the bench, then I'm kind of pissed off more about it than if he's like having a weak beer. Because like if you drinking beers on the bench and then like being a wanker about it, then nah.
I've got this Goose Island IPA that I must finish before I take the field again versus just shotgunning a Budweiser or some shit beer like that.
Yeah, dude, if I see a neck oil in that fucking icebox, then you're off the team. But Foster's, that's fine by me.
It's basically drinking piss anyway. So I don't think we're going to be getting. I don't think we're going to be getting any brand sponsors with Foster's at this point.
Which is devastating.
Yeah, Foster's. If you're listening to this and you want to sponsor a British baseball podcast, I'll drink one live on it. I'll shotgun it. I'll shotgun it for free. I'll even go out and buy the Foster's myself.
I just need you to endorse it, not fund it. Just tell us you think it's a good idea.
We'll at you in. We'll clip this and at you and see what happens. But anyway, we've gone a little bit off track. All-Star game. So we've kind of spoken about how we would improve the whole voting system. As we said, I love the All-Star game. I think it's always a good watch. It's always way more competitive than other American sports, like NFL or American football to us British people. They actually did away with like the Pro Bowl properly because players just weren't taking it seriously, which is completely fair because American football is fucking hard. And there wasn't anything to play for. And I actually quite like the Pro Bowl games. Basketball, I don't know what they do. They tend to just change it every year.
I tell you what they do, and it pisses me off, Gaz, is what it does. So the last few years, they've had 2 team captains. So it's like, in baseball terms, you've got like Team Judge and Team Otani, and then they just pick whoever. So they used to have, they still have like the American League, National League kind of thing in basketball, but they're just picking guys, and nobody is trying. And there's a few cool like deep threes and like big dunks, but like nothing's contested. I don't think it particularly counts for anything either. Whereas the one cool thing about, well, not the one cool thing, but my favorite part of the All-Star game in baseball is that the winner of the All-Star game gets home advantage in the World Series.
I agree. I think that's really cool. And that's what I was going to get to. Don't basketball have like, I know they change it year on year because everyone keeps moaning about it. So then they make it, I think they had like a 14 tournament last year or some dumb shit like that. But wasn't there a point where they had like, they do like all these like Pro Bowl games before, like dunk contests, 3-pointer shooting, whatever else you do in basketball? I don't really know. And those points counted towards the final like game score. So one team went in with like a head start, or am I making that up?
I don't know. It sounds stupid enough to be an NBA thing. I think that all the stuff like that in the NFL, for example, I love all of the like it's essentially another combine, but for like all stars. And I like it when they do like the best catch, and it's like a video of Justin Jefferson diving off of a boat or whatever the fuck. Like that shit's cool, and like the QB accuracy ones are always great.
Yeah.
Like they're so much fun. And the fucking dodgeball, fuck yeah. I love the NFL ones. The basketball ones are silly, but you know, the problem with theirs is that there's only so many ways you can dunk a basketball. And so it's just kind of running out of steam. They're struggling a little bit with how to figure it out, and I just make the All-Star game competitive and for a reason again. That would be cool, but whatever.
Yeah,
This isn't a basketball podcast. So.
No, thank fuck it's not. I don't think I could name you 10 basketball teams. We'll probably do that trivia when we do our anniversary episode. This isn't the anniversary episode. Just watch this space. I might get Cal to like test me, and if I can name 10 basketball teams, I'd be amazed. And one of them can't be the Looney Tunes from Space Jam. The Toon Squad, that's the name of them.
Hell yeah. Do you remember who they played?
I know it's the Aliens. No, I'm not going to remember the team name.
I think it was the Monstars or something.
Oh, no,
I've
you're right.
never seen it, but I think that's what they were called.
Space Jam 1, fantastic. Space Jam 2, utter parlor. It's basically LeBron James and his family biopic with Bugs Bunny.
That it's Space Jam 2 is the LeBron biopic. That's true. Everything that happens in that is fact.
Anyway, sorry, back to the All-Star game. So it's a nice chilled one tonight. So yeah, All-Star game, realistically in baseball, is probably the best one of all the American sports. I don't even know what ice hockey do. I think they just kill each other.
Same thing.
Fantastic. Or they go to the Olympics. I don't know. But with all of this talk about the voting system not being rigged but not being great, we thought it'd be a good idea for the Brit Does baseball team to have a go at naming all-star teams. And previously, we had American League experts, but me and Cal are both National League fans. I'm a Cubs fan. Cal's a Giants fan. So therefore, we thought we'd keep it a bit shorter, a bit more simple, and we know a little bit more about what we're talking about. And we're going to come up with the Brit Does Baseball combined National League All-Star team. So we are just going to be doing the position players because the pitchers, we can quickly probably run through the pitchers, who they would be. But I can tell you now, I'm pretty sure we're starting Jacob Mizorowski. Is that fair?
Yeah.
Yeah, Mizorowski, Christopher Sanchez is probably in there. Paul Skeens, because why not? And I would like to see Otani pitching in an All-Star game and DH. I think it would be cool to see.
Yeah, I'd make a small argument for Logan Webb to go because since his injury, his ERA is like 0.04 or some shit. But yeah, those are good names.
So yeah, those are the pitchers just to keep everyone pacified. But we're going to go down and give. We may have different names for positions. We're then going to sit here, argue for about a minute, and then come to the consensus. It doesn't really matter, and we'll just go whichever name sounds the coolest. Cal, should we kick off the Brit Does Baseball Does All-Star team?
Let's do it. Let's do the Gaz picks an all-star team, and Cal tells you why the Giants should all take the position. Let's go.
Okay. So we'll start with catcher. I've gone for Brewers catcher William Contreras. He leads the National League catchers in WAR, and he's actually had a really good season, with the exception of ABS challenges. He's not been very good at challenging for pitches. I think currently the finalists, I've got the finalists up here, so we can compare them to who the general public have voted, and it's Drake Baldwin and Will Smith. I actually forgot Drake Baldwin existed before I wrote down William Contreras, but I've got to stick to it now. So I'm going to go William Contreras at catcher. Cal, what have you got to say?
I was going to say Drake Baldwin. I saw lots of people get very upset that Drake Baldwin wasn't the starter or some shit. And so I thought that's probably a guy that's done well. So I'll go Drake Baldwin.
Okay, because I forgot about Drake Baldwin, I'm prepared to fuck off Contreras and we'll just put Drake Baldwin in the team.
Smith's been injured all season, hasn't he?
Yeah, this is what I'm saying. Like, people have just voted Dodgers players in. So,
oh, fantastic! All right.
First baseman. So the finalists, again, I can't really argue with the two finalists chosen here. I think they are the best two first basemen. It's Freddie Freeman and Matt Olson. And I put Matt Olson in because he's got 20 home runs already this year and seems to be back up to where I know he can be as a half decent player. But Freddie Freeman, I'm not, we're not big on the Dodgers. I think, I for one, I like Freddie Freeman as a guy. I think he's a cool guy. I think he's got the whitest teeth in the league and hits doubles for funds. But I would like to see Matt Olson start the All-Star game.
Yeah, I hear it. Matt Olson has been very good, probably the best. Which, if you benchmark for first baseman, probably is Freddie Freeman. So whoever's been better than him probably deserves it. And I agree. I think Matt Olson has been.
Wonderful. We'll keep. I don't like to put too many players from the same team in, and I know we've just put two Braves in back to back, but they have both been pretty good this year. Second base, The finalists were Ozzy Albies for the Braves yet again, and Bryson Stott for the Phillies. I'm gonna chuck a giant shaped spanner in the works. I actually think Luis Arias deserved more recognition here, and I don't think you're going to disagree with me.
No, not at all. You're completely right. Luis Arias has been actually fantastic. His offense has been exactly what you expect out of Luis Arias. You know, not many home runs, but a lot of contact, a lot of great at bats, not many strikeouts, not many walks. He just hits the ball for fun. And off of, you know, if there was like a most improved player nomination for the All-Star game, I think Luis Arias this year compared to last year has been so lights out. I mean, Ron Washington deserves a knighthood for what he's done to that man. He's just got him an extra 70 million on his next contract.
Yeah, I mean he's hitting 3.21 this year so far, which is his highest since 2023 when he won the batting title and hit 3.54 for Miami. I didn't realize it was that high. Fucking hell. But yeah, I mean, his career batting average is 317. He goes to bed at night knowing he hits over 300.
Yeah, dude,
That's just,
it's ridiculous. He has the shortest swing in all of baseball as well. A fun trivia for you.
but yeah, as you said, the biggest improvement has been the fielding. He looks like a totally different man. I know he played first base a lot last year because the Padres, to be fair, have shortstops at every position. So the average fielder isn't going to survive in that team. But yeah, he just looks completely revitalized. To be honest with you, like a totally different man this year, and
Right.
I think we need to recognize that.
And like genuinely very, very good. Not just because he's a Giants player, not just because he's better than last year, but like genuinely he's been very, very
I agree. So we're going to put Luis Arias in at second base. Shortstop. The current finalists are CJ Abrams and Mookie Betts. Again, this is one where I think the general public have got it right. I would have CJ Abrams at shortstop. He likes a little trip to the casino at times. That's fine. Doesn't everyone? And he didn't blame it on interpreter. But again, he's got 17 home runs. He's batting almost 290, and he looks like he's switched it on. Right, he's always been a solid player, but he could go for 30-30 this year, and I wouldn't be surprised. Mookie Betts has not been great. I don't think he should be in the final two. I can't remember which shortstop. I'll look it up now. But it's another case of just Dodgers fans voting Dodgers. The shortstop with the highest WAR is Otto Lopez for the Marlins. And it was a toss-up between him and CJ. I just think CJ's got a bit more power. And I kind of like that. Like Otto Lopez is hitting something like 330. But I'm going CJ on this one.
Otto Lopez is a fantastic honorable mention. But when I watched CJ Abrams play against the Giants, there's not many players that have like genuinely impressed me from an opposition standpoint. But CJ Abrams is pretty fucking good, man. He's pretty fucking good. He should be an all-star.
I think we're in agreement. So I think so far we've only had one disagreement, and that was Drake Baldwin versus William Contreras, which I think was like splitting hairs.
Yeah, it's because you forgot he existed as well, but that's okay.
Yeah. We've not spoken about this before. Third baseman. It's actually quite weak in the National League. From like the National League right at the moment, it completely shits on the American League when it comes to like records, players, teams, that sort of thing. You know, you have the outliers like the Aaron Judges and Bobby Witt Juniors of the world, but they, in general, the general standard of the National League is better than the American League. It's a fact. Third baseman is a bit weak, I find, in the National League. So the finalists were Max Muncy for the Dodgers and Alec Bohm for the Phillies. And I know that Alec Bohm was almost being traded by the Phillies in the offseason. I don't think he's been that good. Again, I am actually going to meet the voters' energy, and I am gonna put a Dodgers player in my All-Star team, and that is going to be Max Muncy. But that's more because everyone else has been so crap. Like, I don't know where else you go.
Well, let me get technical with it one time. He hasn't played there bar maybe 3 times this season. He's played a lot of DH and currently he's playing left field, but his natural position is third base. And I am furious that Casey Schmidt is not being talked about in the All-Star voting because he's been the Giants' best player. He's been so reliable, so incredible. Fucking, we're not going to play him at third base, but he should be the All-Star team's third baseman.
Yeah, I'm going to disagree with that. I'm going to disagree with him getting in the team at third base because he's not played there. I do think he's had a great season.
Wrong. He's a third baseman. He's just not allowed to play there because Matt Chapman's greedy and old.
I just look at the list and it's Austin Riley, who hasn't been good since 2023. Nolan Arenado, who the Cardinals are paying $20 million to not play on their team. Nick Gonzalez from the Pirates. Like, the fuck? And then Manny Machado's been crap. Bregman's been crap. Bo Bichette's been shit. Matt Chapman had less votes than Bo Bichette.
Which is crazy, by the way.
It's fan voting. There was only 4,000 in it, to be fair, but I may have to put my foot down here and say Max Muncy.
Fine, but I'm furious about it.
That's fine. I think you'll be happy where we go with the DH when we get there.
Okay.
Do you want to do DH now, or do you want to do outfield?
Let's do the outfield.
Okay. I've got 3. Okay, so the finalists. I'll read out the finalists for the outfield first. Andy Pages for the Dodgers, Brandon Marsh for the Phillies, Ronald Acuna Jr. McDonald for the Atlanta Braves, Teoscar Hernandez from the the Los Angeles Dodgers, Juan Soto from the Mets, and Michael Harris II from the Braves. I do not have any of those 6 in my outfield.
Okay.
And I don't know if I'm being harsh. Pages wasn't far away, but I don't. Maybe Brandon Marsh as well. I think Soto's been good, but he has also spent 6 weeks out injured. Acuna's been good, but he's currently injured. Teoscar Hernandez has spent most of the season out injured. And Michael Harris II, I always think is solid, not spectacular. The first name on this list, and it's the only cub I have in the team, is Pete Crow Armstrong. And I tell you why. Pete Crow Armstrong, before entering the game today, or entering games today, led the National League in WAR aside from Shohei Ohtani, who also has pitching WAR, which I think is unfair. 4.6. He's batting close to 290, and ever since he told a woman to suck his dick in Chicago, he has been a totally different player. He has 17 home runs, almost 50 RBIs. I think he's got about 15, 16 stolen bases. For me, PCA is a travesty that he is not in the top. He's literally leads the league in WAR outside from the unicorn, and he's not even in the top 6. And everyone's going to say, "Oh, but WAR's only one thing, mate." Gold Glove defense. He will win a Gold Glove this year. He makes 5% catches look routine. That is my biggest snub. PCA is in my outfield. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. Don't apologize. He's in mine as well. He's been very good. He's like you said, he's had some patches where he's been not as good as he should be, but the patches where he is as good as he should be, he's fucking unreal.
I'm so glad you
played like all season.
Yeah, he's not been injured. It's great. He's so funny leading off, though. He's like, everyone just wants. I feel the energy of most people just want to beam him in the head because no one really likes him.
It's understandable.
My second outfielder is I like redemption stories. I'm a sucker for them. And this guy, we mentioned him a few weeks ago, Jordan Walker from St. Louis. I always say St. Louis. It's Louis in England. It's Louis in America. Make it make sense. From the St. Louis Cardinals. He is in my All-Star outfield game. He has made my All-Star team in the outfield. He currently sits with 18 home runs, 58 RBIs. He has 10 stolen bases. He's hitting just under 300, and his on-base percentage is 343. Throughout his career, the first 3 years, he was unplayable in the league. And this year, he started off with a bang, and he's just kept going with it. Little blip in the middle, and now he's back to those. He was in like MVP talk for the first month of the year. So I've got Jordan Walker in one of my outfield spots, and I don't hate myself for it.
I'll give you Jordan Walker because the next guy I'm campaigning for pretty hard.
Go on, you give me your one for the third one, and I'll say who I'm going to. We may have the same player.
Is he a giant?
He's not a giant, no.
Ah, well then. I again, for if this is your first time watching the show, first of all, welcome. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. One thing you need to know about me is that I don't give a single fuck about anybody that doesn't play in orange and black. Jung-Hoo Lee has been phenomenal this year. He had what was his fucking hitting streak? Ended up it was like a 20-game hitting streak. He's making
Yep.
right field look like Pesh in Oracle Park, which is a tricky place to go play. He's become the player that we hoped he would the last 2-3 years. He's just been electric. I've loved watching him play, and I'm so happy that he's kind of hitting the levels that he's kind of supposed to, getting paid, just north of $100 million. He's he's not the strongest, but Jesus Christ, he's fast. His bat to ball is fantastic. He makes catches like Pete Crow Armstrong, just ridiculous catches. Just look easy. They look like nothing. I think he's not being given the recognition he deserves either. So my vote's going to Jung-Hoo Lee, as it would.
Yeah, he's hitting over 300. We're going to get some hate on the comments, but that's fine. We normally do. I don't hate it. The only other person I had in was James Wood from the Nationals.
James Wood has also been very good.
So maybe I'm prepared to go Jung-Hoo Lee, and then do I put James Wood in over Jordan Walker? I don't know.
If you got Max Muncy, then I get Jung-Hoo Lee, and we go James Wood, Crow Armstrong, Jung-Hoo Lee outfield.
Okay, that sounds fair. Sorry, Jordan Walker. You've been good, but
you're on the bench though.
Yeah, your first man in. Yeah, just a little shout out for James Wood. He's got 20 home runs, hitting 49 RBIs, batting 260, which is good for him. I thought he was going to be having a hell of a season with strikeouts, but he's been quietly quite solid. And the Nationals are quite fun to watch. They're like 7 games over 500. Or 4 games over 500, whatever it is. But they're like, between him and CJ, it's made you believe in the Nats again.
Especially, you see, start of the year, everyone was very low on them. And then, like, after a few weeks, everyone continued to be very low on them. And then immediately it was like, oh, they're actually like a top 10 team at the moment. So what the fuck happened there?
Yeah, that we had them in our power rankings at 30 before the season started.
Which is mental that it wasn't the Angels.
Yeah, I think it's because we both like Nico.
That's true. He's a lovely guy.
Yeah, we need to get him back on. We did do another episode that we should release at some point, which is like a bit late now. We're talking about ABS systems before season started, and I just didn't get around to posting it, and there was a technical issue, so I lost the. Sorry, Nico, if you're listening to this. I don't think he is.
Just a quick update as we go through the season. ABS, you still like him?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah, me too. Okay,
we'll
check back in again in 6 weeks.
Yeah, not even close. Love it.
They're so good, so good.
Yeah. Okay, so our outfield: PCA, Jung-Hoo Lee, and James Wood. I feel like we should have. I feel like we're missing the trick by not having a third outfielder that has 3 names, like Pete Crow Armstrong and Jung-Hoo Lee. But I can't think any off the top of my head.
Ellie De La Cruz.
O'Neill, yeah, should be a shortstop. Should be an outfielder, probably, yes. Shout out as well. He's had a great year.
What about the Christian Yelich?
He's not. I don't think he plays outfield anymore. He's just DHing for him. We're playing the Brewers right now. I don't think he's played the field this weekend.
Fair enough. What about Corbin motherfucking Carroll? Even though
Not a bad
I think
shout.
he's injured. I'm not sure.
He's got like third most WAR in the National League. So if he has been injured, it's not been for long.
It's because he's really good at his job.
Yeah, but no, it's the Diamondbacks. So everyone's like, oh yeah, they're going to finish like 500.
Just a bit boring.
Yeah. Final position, DH. Who would you have for DH in the National League? Because I know you're not going to say Shohei Ohtani.
I mean, I should. He is probably the best DH in the National League. Fuck it, I'll shock the world. Shohei Ohtani.
Really?
Well, I mean, okay, we can't. We have to have some vague integrity about this. If I've campaigned for Giants players absolutely everywhere, then I should probably hold my hands up and say, "Hey, man, Shohei Ohtani, the hype's real." I don't know if there's any doubters, but he is fucking good. And of all the Dodgers to get in, then Ohtani DHing is fine. I'd like him to just pitch, but I wanted Casey Schmidt at third, and I can't keep putting Casey Schmidt in all over the field as much as I'd love to. So I'll go Ohtani.
I was going to say Kyle Schwarber. He's got 29 home runs.
Yeah, but I couldn't put Casey Schmidt in, so I'm gonna have to go Ohtani. But that's fine. We can put Schwarber in the team. I'd rather that.
Because I would go Schwarber, and then Ohtani would be my pitcher, and then it would be I'd start. This is how I do it. Kyle Schwarber's leading off.
Right. Okay.
So Schwarber's my lead off, or my DH is my lead off.
Okay.
And then he just gets one at bat. So Kyle Schwarber gets the start. Mizorowski's so efficient with his pitch count. He goes 3 innings, 9 up, 9 down in like 25 pitches. And then the fourth inning comes around. Shohei takes over as DH and then pitches the fourth inning, the bottom of the fourth.
I like it. But then also comes out again. So if he's not he's not allowed to DH if he isn't pitching. We have to completely take him out of the game. So there's two subs there. So we can have Schwarber and Ohtani, but it just means that we need a third.
I'm just going starters. I think Schwarber has been a better hitter than Ohtani this year for what you want. Like, you want bombs from your DH, in my opinion. Ohtani has turned it back on. He's got 17 home runs and he's batting 290. But 29, he's almost got 30 home runs, and we're not even in July yet.
It is a bit silly.
I think it's a Schwar bomb, and then if you want to start Shohei Ohtani on the mound, I'm not completely against it, but I think it's Mizorowski and Ohtani's second man in.
No, I think Ohtani's got to come in as a start, and I think the Dodgers will do it more often, where Ohtani out of the bullpen is the most terrifying thing in the world. So I think they should. I think we should do that. We'll start the Miz and Beefy King, and then we'll sub them both out for just Ohtani, and then we'll take him out after a couple.
Okay, so let me just read back the Brit Does Baseball National League All-Star team. Catcher, Drake Baldwin. At first base, it's Matt Olson. At second base, Luis Arias. At shortstop, CJ Abrams. Third base, Max Muncy. In the outfield, we've got in any order, but probably James Wood will be playing left. PCA will be in center, and Young-Hoo Lee will be playing right. Kyle Schwarber is your DH. The Miz is your starting pitcher, and Shohei Ohtani is coming in first into the game out the bullpen, and then also taking over a DH, and also playing the outfield. Why the fuck not? It's Christmas.
Yeah, go for it. I think that team is good enough to beat the Toronto Blue Jays. So.
Yes, Ernie Clement, Kazuma Okamoto, Alejandro Kirk, Jesus Sanchez, and Dalton Varsho, probably plus someone like Aaron Judge and maybe Ben Rice at DH just for fun. I don't think that's a bad lineup. We're coming to the end here, but again, it's been a while. We haven't done hot takes, just me and you, in a while. We also haven't done any start bench cuts. So I believe you have a couple for the group.
I do. I was supposed to think of a baseball related start bench cut, and I just couldn't. I think we've done all of them. So I only really have a non-baseball related one. Unless you can think of a baseball related one while we do the non-baseball.
Um,
But it got to like I was like, oh, maybe like start bench cuts, stirrups, long trousers, and the shorts. And I was like, what do we do?
we could no. All right, I've got an idea because we always end on non-baseball. I have got one for baseball. Just
Okay,
you've inspired me.
okay.
Um, it was very hot yesterday when I played.
Mm.
It was just nudging 30 degrees, and our manager gave us the option that if we wanted to play in shorts, we could. So just kind of based on what I didn't play, I was going to play in shorts, and then I was like, but if I dive for a ball, which probably won't happen. I'm a big guy. I don't slide. Or if I get hit, you just want a little bit of extra padding. So purely speaking, from a baseball fashion standpoint, give me a start bench cut. We'll go high socks, so trouser leg, but the socks come up to the knee. You tuck them in. Low socks, so it's mainly trouser leg, or backyard baseball style. You just wear shorts. What's your what you start and what you bench and what you cut?
I'm cutting the shorts. That's not uniform. That's not baseball. Get the bit. I don't care
Boom.
how hot it is.
Pablo Sanchez and Kenny would roll over in their animated gaming graves for that.
That's fine. They're also children, so it's different. This is major leagues we're talking about here. Imagine fucking Jose Ramirez goes up for an AB and he's just in fucking cycling shorts. It'd be awful.
What a view though. Like
Um,
just think about his ass in cycling shorts, just for a second.
I don't want to do that. Thank you. Although now I am, and now everyone else is, and that's sad. Okay. I see. I used to. I only had the trousers really, that fit me for a long time. But I had like the navy blue football socks, and I just pulled them up. But
Mm.
what would inevitably happen is that because they're not like on my leg, they're not sticking. So they would slide down and I would look like I was playing in the 1910s. And that's not really the vibe all the time, I don't think. So I think I might have to bench high socks, even though that is my preference, just because there's so much that can go wrong from a looking cool aspect, of which a lot of baseball is not looking cool. You look stupid for most of the things that you're doing. I think that just the just the trousers, long trousers, that's fine. Just so long as they're not like you see some people like get the back and they like bring it round and like tuck it under their cleat and stuff. That's a bit stupid. Just wear your trousers. That's fine. We'll start the trousers, bench the high socks, and playing in shorts is for animated children. It's not
Fair
safe.
enough. I'm going to think of this from not from an MLB level, from a Gaz playing baseball level.
All right.
I'm starting the shorts.
Okay.
Even though I was given the choice, I've always enjoyed playing in shorts. Now, with those shorts, I always used to wear leggings underneath. So I always used to
See,
have a
that's a game changer.
little bit of protection. I didn't say you couldn't wear leggings with the shorts. I just think it looks a bit cooler because you're kind of rocking with the I might go gym. You don't know that. Also, it makes your legs look incredible because if you're like me and your fat's all in your belly, then your legs it's just muscle, nothing, pure protein on the bone. So I'm starting shorts. I'm benching trousers because again that's my default. I hate high socks. I can't stand it. Like I said, I also play rugby, and there are like 20% of the team socks low, everyone else socks higher. I can't get behind it because the other thing
Mm,
people do is they cut holes in the back of the socks. And I'm like, if you're going to do that, then just wear the socks low. It's completely pointless.
yeah, that's ridiculous. Because you're only doing that if your calves are too big that the socks are restricting them.
Yeah.
And come on.
It's,
Are your
it's
calves that huge?
I get it in football because you have to wear shin pads. I understand you have to have the sock, even though some people the shin pads are like that big, right? For those that aren't watching on YouTube, we're talking like 2 inches. But I get it. You have to have your socks higher in football. In rugby, just wear your socks down. Like, what are we
And
doing?
and
Yeah, that's my start bench cut. So shorts, trousers, and like I said, I hate high socks, so I'm cutting those. Non-baseball start bench cut. Hit me.
So we went to a garden center today, because I am very much interested in having some pet fish again. I had them when I was younger. My brother killed all of them, and I'd never forgiven him for it. But it was incredibly peaceful and very lovely having a wee like fish tank there with all these little friends just kind of floating about, and like the running water was always really lovely. Um, I loved it. So we went to the shopping center just to go see how much things would cost and try figure out the space of the tank that we need. And so my start bench cut for you is as aquatic pets to own, you've got the axolotl, the clownfish, and the goldfish.
What was the first one? Sorry.
Axolotl.
How do I spell that?
AXOLOTL.
AXO. Oh, okay, I found it.
They are very groovy little dudes.
Is it? It's an amphibian.
It is. But they're hanging out in tanks. Sometimes they come out above the water, but
Apparently, it's
they don't have
critically endangered.
you can buy them in Bracknell.
Bracknell, the known tropical habitat for axolotl.
They also had a fridge full of spiders at this place, which was
Where
pretty
is
gross.
what is the name of this pet shop?
It's just some reptile shop in the Moss End garden center. They have geckos and like frogs and chameleons and loads of snakes and stuff in there. It's pretty cool. It's a
Do you
cool
reckon they want to?
place.
Do you reckon they want to? What's the word? Sponsor us?
Probably not. I think they deal with mostly reptiles and pets and stuff. I don't think they particularly give a shit about baseball.
We could make it. We could be the Alaskan axolotls. That could be our new expansion team.
Let's do it. Although I think axolotls live in Mexico. Maybe we could be maybe we could expand in the Mexican league.
I
could
can't
be
think of the Mexican City axolotl. That doesn't go. Well, it could do.
The Oaxacan axolotls. And I
don't
think
hate
of
it.
that written down. That's so many vowels.
I don't hate it. I'll tell you that for free. Sorry, I didn't know that axolotls existed, so I can't start them. But I will bench them. I'm going to cut the goldfish. Basic. Not worth getting out of bed for. Buried a few. Not good. I'll start the clownfish. I think they could be quite funny. Get it?
Clownfish.
Funny.
I like it. That's good.
Go on.
I disagree. I'm starting the goldfish. I love goldfish. I like the big dogs. You see, you get some like quite big, chunky goldfish. They're fantastic. I'd like some of them. They would make me very happy, and I'd look after them so well. I'm gonna cut the clownfish because, I think they've all got a little bit of ego since Finding Nemo came out. They've all got a bit of arrogance to them that I don't think is necessarily appreciated. And I'm gonna bench the axolotl because it's my girlfriend's favorite animal, I think.
Fair enough.
They'll get in the fourth.
Do you have an axolotl?
No, not yet, but I'd like one. I found out that they're either like pink or black. I'm like,
I'm looking at. They just look like they're smiling all the time.
They are. They're so happy. Look. I've got a cuddly one here. They're fantastic.
I think of it from a perspective of if Boo was to get into the fish tank, which one would she eat the least?
The axolotl would get away. They're quite speedy.
Oh, but Boo won't be bored. Boo will give like at least 5 seconds attention. Anyway, I think we're at a point where we're talking about the axolotl, and we should probably just wrap it up. This has been Brit Does Baseball episode number 28, even though it feels like we've done a lot more. Please pay. This will come out. We normally do an episode Wednesday and an episode on Sunday. This will come out on a Monday, but stay tuned because we have our special anniversary episode coming up. It will be our next release. The Rounders Roundup is taking a week off. We're going to be talking anniversaries, and Cal is going to attempt to finally win a game of Family Fortunes. So stay tuned for that one.
I'll be more embarrassed than I was today. It's going to be wonderful.
All I have to say is I've been Gaz, Cal's been Cal. The All-Star Game voting system is a sham and needs to be redone. I'm Rob Manfred. If you want some advice, let me know. You can hire me for free. We'll catch you later. Thank you and goodbye.
Bye.